I did have one moment where I thought there could be a possibility that we have just been rickrolled, we have been duped, and this was a secret Saw film. Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're going to go see Locked, which is a new psychological horror. It says psychological horror. I do think it may be thriller, but who cares about boxes when a film sounds this fun? The movie stars Bill Skarsgard and Anthony Hopkins, but it's not what you think. The movie is about a thief who breaks into a luxury SUV and realizes that he has just slipped into a psychological trap. Now he is the prey and he is trapped, held hostage inside this car. This is actually a remake of a 2019 Argentinian thriller. I have not watched the original. I wanted to go into this and keep myself open to any twists. I would have loved to compare, but I feel like this setup is juicy and I want to be really surprised by anything that happens. I'm a Skarsgard girl. I know a lot of you guys probably love Bill Skarsgard too, and I think it's really interesting the range of different films he does. Just last year we had him as Count Orlok. He was The Crow, he was in Boy Kills World. Those are all very different horror thrillers, so I do enjoy his range in terms of picking really interesting films that he stars in, whether they're remakes or not. I mean, a lot of those are remakes. So I'm excited to see where this film takes us today. I'm gonna keep this spoiler free and let you know whether it's worth your time, if you should go seek it out, if it's playing near you at cinemas, or if you should just wait. Catch it on digital, wait till it comes out to stream. Will it have a better effect on you if it's on the big screen, or can you just wait? I will let you know. Let's go check out Locked and see if it's worth your time. Let's go. Finally, the weather is getting nicer in the complete opposite way as most of you guys. It's getting cooler here. But I'm excited because I treated myself today and I'm gonna go see this in VMAX. We don't have IMAX where I live in Perth, Australia. And I went to Malaysia last week. I was in KL and I saw Mickey 17 at IMAX, and I'm so sad to go back to a normal cinema because that was such a fun experience. But VMAX is a good in between, and I actually got this voucher for this movie because when I went and saw a different film, they messed up. So treats on them, and I get to see this one in VMAX, which will be really fun. I don't think anyone else will be there either, so big screen. Hi friends, I just got out of Locked. I really enjoyed it. I will say it's not a masterpiece by any means, but it really does fulfill the brief, and it was a really fun experience, especially seeing Bill Skarsgard and Anthony Hopkins go head to head. There was some really, I don't want to say chemistry, but there was some good energy. There was some good energy going on. I thought that this film, because it is about a man who is kind of an opportunist in this situation, but he gets into a car hoping to take something, hoping to steal something for his own personal situation, and he becomes trapped inside of it. I thought it was going to be set over one day. It was going to be a kind of in the moment, buried, you know, like a time crunch movies. That's what I like to call those kinds of movies that have to do with them being stuck in a situation for a certain period of time. But it really does take place over several days. And I do think with that, you're going to have to let go any logic to the situation in terms of survival, because it's very fictional with some of, I guess you would call them plot holes. So as long as you go into it kind of knowing that, but it definitely doesn't explain every detail fully. It just keeps to the highlight reel, which I enjoy. I like that. It's cutting to the chase. It's short and sharp. It's only an hour and 35 minutes, so I think they pack in all of the good stuff. But what I thought was really interesting, and I guess I'd seen a lot of the trailer, I thought it was going to be more action-packed, and I like the way that the film kind of goes through these flows of high tension, emotional drama, and kind of like back and forth with that. I am in the busiest parking lot, guys. I went and saw the movie at 1 o'clock. So everyone's doing the after school run and getting their groceries from the complex I'm in. But I have to say, if I didn't know better, I would think that this is the new Saw film. And I did have one moment where I thought there could be a possibility that we have just been rickrolled, we have been duped, and this was a secret Saw film. There are a couple reasons that I'll let you figure out, but the main reason being it's a trap that he goes into that's meant to play out an irony of justice. And I'm sure you guys have heard the rumors that the new Saw film isn't gonna happen. And it might also be because I've just watched the last 10 Saws in the last 72 hours for an upcoming video. So I was very much in that frame of mind, which I thought it was just very ironic watching this film after watching all of them. What I did think was interesting is the setup to Bill Skarsgard's character, because he is kind of presented as a criminal, but they like to kind of toe the line, and especially with the start and how they set up the situation. And because of them giving meaning and showing you personal reasons into his intentions and what he's doing, I felt it was a different story than I expected. But I don't think they fully carried that all the way through the entire film. At the start, there are different things that kind of give you a grey picture of who he is. And I thought they were really going to play more into the idea of that justice. And although there's a lot of conversations happening between him and his captor about that, I don't know if they fully fleshed it out, or it was just meant to be interesting dialogue to pass the time and kind of give them the motives, but they really don't go as hard as I expected them to in terms of the justice of it all. The reason I really enjoyed the film is not only the acting, I just love these two actors and I think they were cast so well for this, although Bill Skarsgard's given a little bit of Pete Davidson meets Justin Bieber in this, but I think that Anthony Hopkins is perfect for the zany wild card man in this, and he just plays it so well. But I really liked the cinematography because it's a very interesting design being shot in a car, and even though it's a bigger car, it is such a tight space, and logistically obviously they have to work around this in so many different ways, most likely having different setups for how they shoot the back seat and, you know, different things cut away from different vehicles so they can really get in there. But they do a really good job at the start setting that up and having these really close, intense shots, and then throughout it they have these micro shots with amazing detail, and I just thought it was really interesting how it moves and flows throughout the car. Even at the start there are some really interesting shots that could be kind of faked, or they might be one continuous shot that goes through the vehicle, and I think that they put a lot of craftsmanship into that. And as well with doing that, they also carried that through with the color grading. It does go through very different transitions because he's wearing a pink hoodie throughout the whole film, and at points it looks orange. I like how it is just one set, but you really feel like you see it evolve over time. And I just think there were so many good details in this that you forget that you're just watching one set for most of it. There is a lot of things I didn't expect in this film. I wouldn't say it was totally shocking or totally surprising, but there are some great twists and turns, and there is some bloody moments, and I do think it toes the line. It really pushes forward and gets disturbing in some ways, and it's just a fun film to watch the chemistry of these two people going back at each other throughout the entire movie. It did not go the way I thought it would, and I enjoyed it for that, but I don't think it was anything like totally shocking. There was only several ways it could go, but in saying that, it is a film that has a very long ending. I think it's definitely worth hanging out for. There are some great moments, but I do think it could have ended maybe like a scene or two earlier and not have to wrap itself up fully, kept not ambiguous, but kept the mystery a little bit open. It's a very simple film that is carried by the charismatic actors, and I think that it just fulfills the brief. I had a lot of fun. I was laughing throughout, even though I don't think you're meant to laugh, but there's just something about Anthony Hopkins. There's some wild one-liners in there, I'll tell you what. And I don't think you have to see this one on the big screen, but I will say, like any movie, the trauma of it all, especially the way that he is terrorized within this vehicle, it makes such a better impression on the big screen. And I guess because I saw it in VMAX, I could really get trapped in there with him, because this car is so well decked out, and the torture and the ways that he has trapped it. It was good to feel that. I felt it. Either way, this could have been the missing Saw film that we never got and we might never get, so fingers crossed for Saw. But if you're looking for a good filler film for the franchise, this one is maybe it for us. And if you're a big fan of Bill Skarsgard and Anthony Hopkins, you'll definitely want to see this one in the cinema. I enjoyed it. It was really fun. It wasn't a masterpiece. It wasn't that deep, but it is an interesting look at two people from very different walks of life and how they view each other, trapped in a situation of their own accord. I'm gonna give this film a 7 out of 10. It did fulfill the brief, as I keep saying, but it just wasn't as epic or deep. It was just a fun ride, which there's nothing wrong about. I love that. That's what I want to see sometimes when I go to the movies. For scare gore, I'm gonna give it a 5. It's not very gory at all, but there are some very cool shots. Definitely worth it, and that's what made me really happy to see it on the big screen. And for originality, it is a remake. I'm gonna give it like a 3 anyway. The idea itself, very fun, but there's only so many ways it can go. It was weird because it definitely wasn't like I was going for the main character, but I was glued. I was hypnotized, wondering what would happen next. And how fun is that? Thank you all so much for watching, and I really appreciate all of your love lately. I am working on a bigger video again. I'm sure you can guess what that is now. I will talk to you all very soon. Please let me know if you've seen this film, what you thought. Let others know down in the comments down below. I love to hear your thoughts, your feelings, and I love to see your scores, so put them down below. And I'll talk to you all very soon. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye, friends.